Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
This is BachelorClues, and we are in week one. Week one has just ended of Love Island USA Season 7. And it's been a doozy. Week and a half-ish, right?
Yeah.
We got about another 3 weeks to go. If you're not joining us in the pit at patreon.com/Game of Roses, in my opinion, you're making a mistake if you like Love Island.
You're ruining your life.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
In my opinion, allegedly.
Right. This is the worst mistake you'll ever make. We are watching every episode of Love Island USA pretty much as it airs, the night of, and we have our coverage of that available on Patreon. You can watch along with us. You can hear us basically doing play-by-play coverage of every episode of this season. So far, it's been fantastic.
It's so good. It is picking up steam. There are some fantastic characters. Shelly, Alandria, Ace, Amaya. I'm looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And join us. It's very fun. Tazagor is it's a revolution.
That's right.
Could be.
We hope you will join us for that as we continue our march into Love Island USA Season 7. However, that march is going to be, someone's going to join the march in early July, which is Bachelor in Paradise. We're going to be covering that as well. Simultaneous coverage of both of these beachy group dating formats.
Competing group date formats.
Well, speaking of competing group date formats, that's going to bring us to the first portion of today's show. This is
Game of Roses. State of the game.
So we now have two trailers that came out this week. One for Love Island's spin-off show, which is called Beyond the Villa, I believe, where they're taking Leah Kateb, Miguel. We're going to watch the trailer. Taylor. Yeah. They're all living in a house in LA trying to be more famous. And also a trailer for BIP Season 10 dropped. We're going to watch both of those right now and just kind of see what we got, see what our reactions are to these. I have seen the BIP one, but I have not seen the Love Island one. Have you seen them both? I have seen both
of them, but I'm excited to see both of them in contrast.
Okay.
Because they're different.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share this screen with you now, PaceCase.
I feel like we should start with BIP.
You want to start with BIP?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
What is this?
What is what?
What's on screen?
This is the BIP trailer.
Oh, wow.
Ready?
Yeah.
Paradise is back.
I left my no drama llama at home. I'm trading the bob for a bikini.
Hey, I'm trying to fall in love here.
I may have caught footballs for a living, but catching hearts, that's a natural talent.
I'm here for the sparks, the kisses, and someone who gets my humor.
I'm looking for treasure on this beach.
I don't kiss, I smoochy poo.
Just a medium king looking for big love.
Ladies love a man who can express himself, right?
I'm back. You know what they say, cats have 9 lives.
You may not remember me, but
Cat
after this, you'll never forget me.
I'm looking for the real deal and nothing less.
Hola, Costa Rica. Estoy listo para el amor.
I'm a southern boy with a shy streak.
No more shallow waters. I'm ready to get deep.
Here's to shooting your shot again.
Bachelor in Paradise season premiere July 7th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Okay.
Ooh.
What did you think of that, PaceCase?
Look, I love that they're going with clearly a new direction. They're doing the Love Island style, sexy, wet intros. Mm-hmm. However, is this the cast for that? I wonder. A season based around Jeremy, Mr. Stop and Shop.
It's not just Jeremy. I hate to say this. It's not good. I don't think. There is something happening in that trailer. Mm-hmm. And I applaud the effort. Don't get me wrong. This is something we have talked about time and time again. they're taking a swing here. Unfortunately, they're taking a swing at a curveball they just can't hit. It's attempting to go in the direction of a Love Island. And I get Scott Teddy comes from Summer House, so the visual aesthetic here is more that than it is old Bachelor. These are better cameras they're shooting on. It looks like they're giving you that 3/4 walk and look into the camera, some slow-mo. There's a little bit of graphics thrown in. However, you're directly competing with Love Island USA, who does this exact thing 10 times better. So if you're going to do that thing, it's got to at least be as good as Love Island, or don't fucking do it. And this is not as good. That's just from how it looks. I don't know what is in the season, what the actual action is going to be, what the players are going to do. It may be great. That's totally possible. From this trailer, though, if this trailer is meant to give us like a new feel, a new look for this show, I just don't think it goes far enough in the direction it's going to warrant having done it.
It definitely is new.
Yeah.
It definitely is not almost paradise, like cheesy.
No,
but there is still like a cheesy, there's still like a cheesy element to it a little bit. It's like,
the cat noise over cat is to me, that's it. It's like, that's what you needed to have left behind. The kind of like
animal
goofy,
noises.
Silly, wacky, like, we're going to make fun of these players. Her name's Cat. Rare. Like, hey.
And if you're going to build a season around Kat's love story, you don't want to make her look like a fool, which you're Claire crawling her with the animal noises.
And to throw Dale Moss in here like he's just another player, it's like, that's the whole show. This trailer should have just been him sitting on a throne, everyone kneeling at his feet as he's throwing Instagram logos like dollar bills at them.
Here's what the trailer should be for Dale Moss. You just hear heavy footsteps. The jungle is shaking.
I love this.
And then you reveal Mossman's touching sand.
Yeah. He comes out of the water like a giant sea monster.
He definitely should be emerging from the water a la Tasha.
Yeah.
Dripping wet. Give a little wink. That's all you need.
I'm excited for this season. Don't get me wrong, because I think there's so much riding on it. It's like, we have to hope this does well.
Yeah.
This trailer doesn't give me that much confidence. Like I said, I like that it's going in this new direction. I think that's instinctively correct. It can't look like the old show. But you also then are faced with this cast. Multiple players in this cast. They even say in the trailer, you don't know who I am now, but you'll never forget me after this season. Like, what? Huh?
Don't say that.
They didn't.
They do that on BIP all the time. They're like, oh, who's that of someone entering? And not in a good way. Like, oh, they're so sexy. It's like, oh, who's this loser who's a night one player?
Yes. There's something like Love Island doesn't have this problem because everybody comes to Love Island essentially unknown. It's like everybody starts at the same level and whatever. And that's fine. You can, if you want to tout that as a part of BIP, that's kind of interesting, because I think it is, that there's all different levels of fame come into this game, then fucking do that. Show me, like, we don't know who this guy is, but Dale Moss has how many Instagram followers? Put their numbers on the fucking screen. If you're going to go that direction, compare them then.
With big noises, boom, 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 as you see his running shots from his Instagram. I always think about that first, like, him leaping in the air shot from when we went through his Instagram.
That's how we knew he was going to be a powerhouse.
Like, hype up your heavy hitters. Do not bring up the fact that no one knows who these people are. That's just bringing up the fact that the franchise is in turmoil and there wasn't a new Bachelorette season to choose from, etc. Like, don't remind us of that. We want to escape. But look, I will say I love that they are taking a swing. Like,
yeah, I do too.
It's different. It gives me a little bit of hope. It's tepid. It's tepid hope, but it's there.
It's hard to like get fully into it with the Love Island tone that we've been watching this now for a week and a half, and it's just like fucking night and day difference, in my opinion.
This is why I wanted to watch the Beyond the Villa trailer next, because it's just like the dichotomy between the two. It's very apparent. You're like, oh, these are stars. It's glossy. It's shiny. It's like,
well, let's do it. Let's take a look. You ready?
I gotta watch the show.
Whew, I mean, God, they're different shows. All right. Bachelor in Paradise is a group dating format. This is not. This is basically like the all-stars of the greatest season of Love Island of all time, living out a kind of Vanderpump style. You motherfucker. I love Dorito. And the fact that he put on his swimsuit backwards, or his surfing suit backwards, just made me love him more.
So he's going to show us Willie on Peacock. Great line.
Yeah.
Janae has already, by the way, speaking of Sauce Wars of Love Island, she's already commented, like, because someone was like, oh, I can't believe they're saying Janae and Kenny are having conflict or whatever. It seems overly produced. And she goes, thank you for like calling this out. She's already fighting against the edit of the trailer. And so I was watching it this time. I was like, oh yeah, they do show that Kenny line like split up off face, but it's so hard. It's so hard to watch these together because there's just such star power in this Love Island cast. Like Taylor is electric. Even when she's talking about chicken sandwich, I'm like, yes, I want to see that. I want to see Leia and Miguel on that little horse hug. Oh my God.
Yeah, but this also comes from like, it's not. I agree with you. The star power in Love Island is different, but that also has to do with how the show is produced. Yeah. It's not just about saying like, oh, we found the greatest players. They may have, but also then you produce the show in a way that supports the stardom, in a way that supports the fame, that doesn't deride them for getting Google deals or getting 1 million Instagram followers or whatever. Bachelor does the exact opposite. They try to remove the fame from it because they feel that it is like for the wrong reasons, or maybe it's the producers just want control over those people, whatever the case. And so you're left with this player pool that is just depleted of the will to be stars. Like many of the people I think they cast on Bachelor could be huge if they were supported in the right way producerially. They just aren't.
Lexi apparently said when asked about BIP, it was PTSD to her season. And that should be one of your superstars.
Yeah.
If Bachelor was producing that Love Island trailer, they would have had Dorito be like, I know a lot of you don't remember me, but I'm here too.
Why am I here? Why did they put me in this TV show? I don't even know. That's the state of the game, though. We've got these two big shows coming out. I think, and these trailers are kind of our first looks at them. I'm curious about that Beyond the Villa one, because it's also going to be competing against Love Island proper. And are people really going to watch both of those? And if you're a Bachelor fan, you're also watching BIP.
And Love Island UK.
And Love Island UK. Can you watch 6 hours of reality TV every day? That's the real question here. I don't know. Some people maybe can.
We've tried it.
We have. Yeah, we've done it.
It's possible.
A period of time.
You have to quit your day job.
Yeah. The bigger question to me, though, is about Bachelor in Paradise. I think Love Island as a franchise is like firing on all cylinders. It's bigger than it's ever been. It's in no threat of getting canceled by Peacock or NBC, or who even makes it? Is it ITV? Who's the actual parent company of? I need to look into this. At any rate, it's under no threat of cancellation. It is on the upswing. It is going to the stratosphere. BIP season 10. It's it. Yeah. It has to do well, or I think there's no Bachelor franchise for a little while. So all eyes are going to be on it, at least all of these two eyes in my skull.
Yeah.
As we move forward. And that trailer just leaves me, I've also heard Susie Evans is in Paradise. She's not in that trailer. But they waste time with a guy saying, you don't know who I am. Like,
why?
That's what I'm saying. Like there are these.
Is it to try to maintain some surprise because you have glaze on there?
I guess, but who gives a fuck? If you don't get big numbers on episode 1, you're done. You need to, whatever needs to be in that trailer, it has to be front loaded with everything you got. I want to see scenes from the show. They didn't give us any of that. It was just like the intros.
John Paul Jones in tears.
Exactly. You need some reason to watch. This was just like, here's the people, and most of them you don't even know who they are. Oh, cool. I guess I have to watch it.
And remember how you're annoyed by Kat Izzo? She's here again.
Yeah. And even we hate her.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, like, there are a bunch of creative choices in it that are just bad. They do the opposite of what all this Love Island stuff does, which is like get you excited and like, oh my God, they're mad at each other. They're funny. They're hot. You know, none of that's happening in that VIP trailer.
Yeah. I mean, it's how it, I do think like you could produce VIP in a way where you make them all stars. It's possible.
100%.
Like Love Island is doing it season after season.
They used to do it in VIP. They used to do it.
I know. It used to be where you would go to pop over the million mark.
That was exactly. You would come in your rookie season and you would get maybe 500,000 to 600,000 Instagram followers. If you were one of the big players, one of the final 3, maybe you even crack 1 million back in that era. But then you would go on VIP. And if you lasted, if you were one of the people who went to the end of that season, you got your million. That was happening every year. And it was because they produced those players in a better way. Yes, they tried to fuck them over, but still they let them play. It wasn't like as tamped down. They didn't pre-write into the fucking script on day one. We're going to have 3 engagements by the end of this. And it's you, and you. You'll be in a love triangle. And if anybody deviates from this pattern, you're off the fucking beach.
Yeah, you can only date the person we tell you to. We're going to sequester the genders apart from each other constantly. Like there's no freedom in it. Like, I don't know if Lexi was even in that trailer, but her saying that she got PTSD coming on it, not a good sign. No one should be getting PTSD being on a fun reality show.
I agree. I will say this though about it. I know some things about what happened there. And I am very curious to see how some of this will be presented. I do have like a very deep need to see these things as they're going to be edited, you know?
Okay.
And if I see some bad editing when we're covering that or some things that get omitted, I might have some tea of my own.
I would make that trailer all around Dale Moss. Like,
of course you make
all
it
around Lexi and Kat Izzo. Like, and there's a way to portray Kat Izzo as like she's the hottest girl ever. That's why she's so successful at these games. Like,
maybe I think you make the whole trailer's Dale Moss. I think you start it with him coming out of the limo in season 16 and Claire Crawley being like, "That's my husband." To you blew up the Bachelorette. To headlines of them breaking up. To what has he been doing since? To now I'm in paradise and I'm finding love for real this time. Like, it's right there. That's it. That's a minute. You're done. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Dale Moss is back. But even that was like leaked far before this. So the trailer has no weight. Like the reveal of Dale Moss has no fucking weight.
I mean, I looked at the comments on, I think I saw it on TikTok maybe. And some people were like, oh, Dale Moss. So it's not leaked to everyone, but yeah, I agree.
Well, we'll see.
You should all be keeping in mind your audience, and the audience is the women and gays. Do it all from that point of view.
100% agree. 100% agree.
What we want.
Yes. We'll see. We'll see. We have only, what is today? June 12th. So less than a month away is that premiere of VIP season 10. We'll be watching that. I don't know if we're going to watch Love Island out of the villa.
Yeah, it might be tough with our schedule.
There's just a lot. I mean, I'm sure. Fuck, I'm going to have to see that though. I need to see Dorito.
I have to also. Are you kidding me? That trailer was so good.
I know. Fuck. We'll figure it out.
And like, you want to see Kaylor and Aaron, who looks like a shell of himself.
That dude's been cowering through it. That dude has seen ghosts. Anyway, we'll cover as much of it as we can, and we hope you'll join us for all of that. But let's move on now to the next portion of our program, all those tids that are fit to print. This is...
Bachelor Nation News.
First up in Bachelor Nation News, Shao Crank is spouse banked.
Oh.
See what I've done there?
No.
I don't really know what it means either. It just sounded funny to me.
I guess you called him that. Is spouse has banked a spouse.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Season 27 Bachelor and blood relative of Patrick Warburton, Zach Shawcross, was legally bonded till death or divorce to his ring winner, Kaity Bigger, this week.
The Bachelor Nation royalty couple have been living in Austin, Texas with their canine companion, Honey, since getting engaged on the show. They described their ceremony as intimate, timeless. Ooh, look out, Kelsey and Joey. And elegant, with Bigger in a strapless, sophisticated Pronovius wedding gown and lace sling-back heels by Betsy Johnson, while the Crankinator rocked a classic State and Liberty suit. Okay.
At the reception, Kaity and Cranky shared their first dance as husband and wife to Simply the Best by Noah Reid from the show Schitt's Creek. Crankle revealed that this was the first song he and Kaity listened to after getting engaged.
Cranked out a few personalized Funko Pop figurines for their cake toppers. And of course, Crank and Big relived the story with Grocery and Serena on Bachelor Happy Hour.
Congrats to the Crankle.
To journalism at large as well for this paragraph.
Thank you. And of course, when one Bachelor Nation couple legally binds themselves to one another in a court of law, that means another must end. This week, we must sadly report that the last Bachelorette, Jenn Tran, has ended her romance with Dancing with the Stars partner Sasha Farber. The information was reported by People magazine with few details, only that a, quote, source close to the couple confirms the split and alleges that the two remain, quote, very good friends. We wish them both well as they look for new dance partners.
And of course, when one Bachelor Nation relationship ends, another must coalesce to keep the universal balance. We reported last week that bedazzled basketballer Michelle Young's marriage to civilian sales consultant Jack Leas was merely days away. Well, those days have come and gone, and we can now report that the season 18 Bachelorette is currently legally wed.
The Minnesotans got married last Saturday at Woodland Glass House at Bavaria Downs in Chaska, Minnesota. You know that place, PaceCase?
I saw it in my research of wedding venues.
Wow.
That's a beautiful venue.
Well, approximately 200 guests packed into this beautiful venue at the couple's, in quotes, timeless wedding inside a glass atrium set beneath a canopy of trees. And Young sold coverage of the event to People magazine.
Young walked down the aisle as violinist Daniel Gilbert played Love Me for the Both of Us by CJ Pham in a wedding gown custom designed by Anne Barge. The civilian wore a tuxedo from Suit Shop and made his way down the aisle to Lovers and Friends by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, featuring Usher and Ludacris. Once Young reached him at the altar, they played a game of rock, paper, scissors to determine who would read their handwritten vows first. The couple then exchanged rings from wedding day diamonds. Then they shared their first dance to Hate That I Love You by Rihanna, featuring Neo, which was playing in the car the first night they met, which resulted in a special moment of them belting the song out together. Cute.
Yeah. Congrats to Michelle Young and this civilian, this lucky civilian. Anytime a civilian gets to marry into the nation, I'm always like a little like, fuck you, you know?
You hate when the civilians marry?
I just don't like the bloodline to be tainted.
You like a pure bloodline.
I like a pure Bachelor Nation bloodline.
For the bachelorettes. But the men should all have to marry in the bloodline. But for me, the bachelorettes, it's like they're free.
What? Oh, I see. Finally, they've broken the curse of being in the nation. I get it. Okay, fair enough. And of course, when a member of Bachelor Nation royalty marries a civilian, two members of the Love is Blind Nation must get divorced. After nearly 3 years of marriage, Love is Blind Season 5 player Lydia Gonzalez has announced that she has filed for divorce from Milton Johnson. Gonzalez recently appeared on the official Love is Blind Sauce podcast, What's the Reality?, hosted by A.D. Smith, where she explained the reason for the divorce. Quote, "It wasn't one thing. It was a layer of situations and things that kept piling up. When I told him, hey, I'll let you know when the divorce papers are ready, his response was, I'm not going to sign the papers unless there's an NDA.
Which,
by the way, that don't sound good on his end. That means he got shit he needs to keep secrets.
No, it doesn't sound good. Sounds like a bad layer of something.
Yeah.
Lydia shared that their relationship has been non-existent since March and that problems began 6 months after their on-air nuptials. She said their first argument occurred after Johnson refused to stop speaking with an ex-girlfriend. Lydia said that during their marriage, women also accused Milton, 26, of heavily flirting and buying drinks for them at bars. After confronting him, Lydia said that he flipped it on her, asking why she would even entertain the rumors.
Our condolences to Lydia and Milton. Perhaps we'll see one of them on Perfect Match. You think?
I mean, Lydia's a good character.
Yeah, Milton is too. I'd throw them both on the next season. See what happens.
Put them both on.
Exactly. And finally, in Bachelor Nation news, Love Island Season 7's disappeared player, Yulissa Escobar, has issued a public apology and shed some light on why she was vanished from the second episode. Her exit was a producer response to videos that resurfaced of her repeatedly using the N-word.
Escobar's apology was in the form of a caption on a single image slide posted to her main Instagram grid. The image was text on a gray background that read, "Owning my mistakes, speaking my truth. Yulissa Escobar."
Did you see that post?
Yes.
It's like an Einstein quote or something, but it's that.
I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
That's true.
Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. And here now is her caption is in its entirety.
This is kind of long. You're making me read this one? All right. I'll get through it as quickly as I can. Yulissa Escobar official statement. This is quotes. She put that. She wrote Yulissa Escobar official statement.
Yeah.
And then This is what she wrote. First, I want to apologize for using a word I had no right using. Podcast clips from years ago have recently resurfaced, and I want to address it directly. In those clips, I used a word I never should have used, a racial slur. I used it ignorantly, not fully understanding the weight, history, or pain behind it. I wasn't trying to be offensive or harmful, but I recognize now that intention doesn't excuse impact, and the impact of that word is real. It's tied to generations of trauma, and it's not mine to use. At the time, I was speaking casually in conversation, not thinking deeply or critically about what I was saying, but that doesn't take away from how wrong it was. The truth is, I didn't know better then, but I do now. I've taken the time to reflect, to learn, and to grow from that moment. I've changed a lot since then, not just in how I speak, but in how I show up, how I carry myself, and how I honor the experiences of others. Growth means recognizing when you were wrong, even if it's uncomfortable, and choosing to move forward with humility and accountability. There have also been fake statements circulating, things written or said by others that don't reflect me or my heart. I want to clarify that this is my voice and my words. I don't need anyone to speak for me. I'm choosing to speak for myself because I take full ownership of my actions. Do not listen to the fake statements. This is my official statement. This is me speaking directly to you. To those who are disappointed or offended, I understand and I apologize. I am sorry, Yulissa Escobar. And that's the end of that. A good apology, I guess. I don't know if we're going to grade apologies and all that. I think she probably had to do this. Maybe she is seeing a little bit of an uptick on her social media from just even the cast announcement and all of that. And she realizes, I'm getting these new followers. I need to keep them. I have to do something.
I mean, it's like, it's a way to stay in the news after you've been disappeared from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye. You know, I'm reminded of Shane Gillis. You know that stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
He got that job on Saturday Night Live, and then all these old tweets of his resurfaced that were racist and homophobic. They fired him before he ever came to the show, basically. It was announced that they hired him. These things surface. They said, no, we're not hiring you now. Sorry. But he's, took him a couple of years, but he bounced back. He's even hosted Saturday Night Live at this point. No. They had him back to host. So maybe she can do that on some other reality show. I'm not sure. She is an interesting figure. Certainly a live wire, a big controversial kind of player. Would another show cast her?
Maybe.
Would she be on Perfect Match?
Maybe Merit Street Media's.
Oh, shit.
Show.
No, you did not. She's the Bachelorette in Chris Harrison and Lauren Zima's new dating show.
Yeah. It's all people under 5'5".
Oh my God.
With canceled pasts.
Yeah, exactly.
And now for the portion of our program in which we discuss the top 5 plays on social media. Had a motherload of beautiful plays this week, many inspired by the ICE kidnapping spree and the felon in charge deploying U.S. troops against its own citizens protesting. Our 5th place play this week goes to Rachel Lindsay. The Bachelorette sounded off about the snatchings, posting a bunch of Instagram stories with the commentary, "It was never about doing it, quote, legally, 3 broken heart emojis."
And by the way, if you're not watching Higher Learning, or I don't really listen to podcasts anymore, I just watch on YouTube. Watch it, listen to it, whatever. That podcast is phenomenal. It's her and Van Lathan. I'm catching clips from it daily at this point. I highly recommend listening to it right now because they're talking about these protests. They talk about Trump a lot. If that is of interest to you, and it probably is, their podcast is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. Coming in at number 4, Justin Glaze made a gorgeous artistic offering this week via TikTok, a depiction of him painting a playing card for Love Island Season 7. He intercuts his favorite clips of the show with him painting the Love Island hearts, 3.4K likes, 54.6K views.
Our 3rd place play of the week goes to Demi Burnett. She made a classic pull no punches plea to get cast on Traitors via the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, reading, all caps, "Colton on the Traitors before me, ... Okay, I'm gonna stalk and harass people so I can get cast. 1.3K likes, 54.9K views."
What? Is he on it?
I guess.
This is just conjecture.
Maybe it's a rumor.
I've seen some of those cast lists floating around. They're not accurate. Not exactly
Moira
accurate.
Higgins is rumored.
Yeah, they may have some names right, but they definitely have some names wrong. That much I can 100% guarantee you. Moving on to our...
Okay, Dark Lord coming.
What? Say what? I wish I was Dark Lord coming. I feel like I am kind of becoming Dark Lordian.
Yeah.
But I'm like a shadow Dark Lord. I don't host any of these shows, but I am starting to affect them. For sure.
You're like the Emperor.
I'm the Palpatine of reality television.
The
Please put that on my
Dark
gravestone, on my cryo tube. Coming in at 2nd place this week is the last Bachelorette of all time, Jenn Tran. She posted an Instagram story using Sabrina Carpenter's new song to presumably dig at Devin this week, rewriting Last Summer with a new Sabrina Carpenter hit, Man Child. Man Child. And then it's a picture of Sabrina Carpenter's Man Child on Spotify. Oh my God. She also posted an Instagram story discussing the responses to her supporting the right of people to not be kidnapped by ICE. Oh man, this is too much to read. It's a bunch
of people yelling at her, and she goes, "The amount of white men and women in my DMs telling me how to feel about my experience as an immigrant's daughter is insane. No, not everything is about race, but when it comes to my experience, no one is going to tell me how the world has shaped me, especially not a white woman. Go home. I was born here. I am home."
And some of this shit, like from a user called Brianna Geckler, "You're not being silent when your friends are setting fire to the city, hurting our law enforcement, blah, 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 blah." My mom, by the way, I do another podcast where I talk about politics with my mom and dad and sister every Sunday. If you want to check it out, it's called Necessary Conversation. We will be discussing all of this, obviously, this next Sunday. My mom is sending me tidal waves of text messages. "You got to get out of the city. It's on fire." And pictures that she's like snapping of Newsmax on their TV that are just those same 2 or 3 video clips of a Waymo on fire. And my mom thinks that's like the whole of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I have to send her back videos that I take just like in my street, and be like, "Look, everything's fine here. People are walking their dogs and go to the grocery store." I don't think at least for my mom and anybody who's like very susceptible to that level of propaganda, I think they really think the city is just crumbling, that it's like under assault.
Of course.
And that,
I mean,
what you're seeing is
I know they think that Fox News is too liberal, but Fox News is showing like a police car that's like on fire from something else constantly.
I would encourage everybody, if you're at all interested in this, to go on TikTok and look up LA protests and look at the things that people are posting who are in the protests. 99% of them are completely peaceful. And yes, there are like these armies of cops with their riot shields and the National Guard and all this stuff. But for the most part, there's no violence breaking out. Those are very isolated incidents happening, by the way, in a very small piece of the city.
Yeah. Tiny.
99% of the city is gigantic. It's fine. Yes.
As Jenn Tran said, the amount of misinformation around this is insane. Please take a second to realize they're taking people who are coming here legally and have no previous criminal records.
The whole reason this popped off is because they were waiting outside an immigration courthouse for people who were going in to file immigration papers or take whatever the next step of their immigration journey was. They were just waiting for them. These are people who are following the law, legally seeking to immigrate to the United States. And they were just like, fuck you. It's wild. Yeah. It's wild.
They're like, you know how we can meet our quota?
Exactly. Fucking quotas.
I mean, the videos I have seen are so messed up.
I agree.
It is hard to take. And the racial profiling and the shooting journalists and all, like
that video of the Australian reporter getting the rubber bullet. That shit is wild. That cop literally just turns the gun on her. Tack. Like, it's not even like it was a stray bullet. That was a purposeful, I'm going to shoot you.
And I've seen multiple videos like that of the states attacking innocent, unarmed people. Cool vibes. Well, moving on, our number one play also has to do with it. Our play of the week goes to evil and crazy villain edit recipient Carolina Sofia. In a TikTok this week, she calls out influencer contracts for banning discussing politics and uses a hypothetical loophole to speak about immigration and what's happening with the ICE kidnappings. She even differentiates the civil offense of being undocumented with being a felon, like the president, and even mouths that he's a RAPIST. It's powerful, succinct, and funny, and we wish she was on sand. 7K likes, 79.7K views.
And do you know why she's not on sand? This is at least... Look, I can't be 100% certain of this. I hear things, you see. And...
too charismatic? Too much of a star?
This is... I can't corroborate this, but I do think this is true. And I have heard this from multiple independent sources. The producers didn't like her.
Okay.
She's the biggest star of that season, arguably. And they don't have her because they just didn't like her, didn't want to work with her.
No, you got to save space for, you may not remember me.
Yeah. It
was the Carolina show, like that entire season.
When are they going to let us run that fucking franchise? Is this what needs to happen? Is this the journey of Gore? We start the podcast. We start to get in there a little bit from the shadows. It crumbles. We emerge from the shadows as the resurrectors.
We are the shadow daddies. Zayden.
I don't know. We have to also discuss a non-human who is making some parasocial plays this week. This week, the parasocial creature of the week goes to Kaity Thurston's new canine companion, Charlie, who saw himself in the mirror for a first time. And he seemed to have liked what he saw. This adorable pup loses his mind at the sight of his own handsomeness. Congrats to Charlie and to Kaity on this outstanding achievement. And obviously, we wish Kaity all the best as she's continuing her journey, dealing with cancer right now, battling it, doing her treatments. And you can follow along with her on her Instagram through all of that. She gives very detailed accounts of everything from what the treatments are to what doctors are saying, how she's feeling, et cetera, et cetera. And she's powering through it, though. And if I know anything about that exact thing, I do feel like you come out the other end of it way stronger and you feel like, there's nothing that can happen to me in this world that I can't handle. And I think that will be true for her as well.
Yeah. If anyone can, it's Kaity. I'm so excited she got a dog. This is the best
He's
news
cute.
ever.
Have you seen him, Charlie?
I've seen this video.
Yeah.
He's a cute little pup.
I know. I showed Skabulian a picture of himself. No, I showed him a mirror once. He didn't give a fuck.
I thought you were going to say I showed Skabulian this video.
Yeah, I showed Skabulian a picture and I was like, why can't you be more like Charlie? No, he doesn't give a fuck about a lot of things, seemingly. I don't think he also understands symbolic representation in the same way dogs do. Like, do cats, are they able to understand a mirror?
Luca doesn't understand the mirror.
Maybe Charlie's just a special guy.
I don't know.
I
try to be like, this is you. This is who you are. It doesn't take.
Did I show you that video of Scobby trying to jump into the TV while I was playing Path of Exile?
Yeah.
Now that's a ding dong. He don't know.
Or maybe he knows more than you.
He's like,
maybe he's like, that's the real world.
That's where I come from. I need to get back.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's please move on to our final portion of this program where PaceCase and I drop down into the murky waters at the bottom of this pit that we are continuing to dig to issue forth our screams about how our fandom of reality television, our participation in this podcast have drastically changed our lives, the fundamental nature of who we are as entities, and therefore the fundamental nature of who everyone is as entities, because as I've said on this very program, we are all one. This is
Clue.
Screams from the pit.
My scream this week has to do with a reality program called The Valley. This is the spin-off program of Vanderpump Rules. When I was growing up, speaking of how gigantic Los Angeles is, I went to school on the west side. I knew nothing. I literally walked to school.
What?
And I thought that Beverly Hills was East LA. And we would mock my friend who lived in the valley.
Damn.
I mean, bullying.
Savage.
Yeah. And now, as someone who is looking to move and get more space, trying to figure out where to live. There's so many different neighborhoods in LA. And I have found myself, I'm like, the valley is in play. And I have realized that part of that, I mean, you can get more space.
Sure.
It's
more heat.
A little centrally located. There's all these different pluses. But I have also found myself being like, and I will be in the valley, like some of my favorite reality stars. They have literally like made me have this more positive opinion of an area, even though like these are not people who I necessarily would want to be friends with. Like that show is so chaotic and like honestly pretty dark. So this is my scream. I'll keep you posted if I ever move, but highly recommend that show. It's so messy. Not even all the people on it live in the valley, but
yeah. I have the opposite reaction. Pride was here, last weekend, I guess. Me and Laura went down both nights, just kind of walked around, saw the sights, listened to the music, whatever. And it occurs on a stretch of Santa Monica Boulevard that is right by all of the Vanderpump shit. Tom, Sir, whatever. Those places were fucking jumping, people hanging out of the windows, neon going off. It was great. And I was like, to me, that's Vanderpump. Whether they have a show called The Valley or not, that's where it is, in my opinion.
Well, Jax has a bar now in the valley. I don't know. He's currently where I'm at on the show. He's put himself away in a mental health space.
Nice.
So
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's super, super dark.
All right.
But yeah, Pride was always a very big part of Vanderpump. And I always wanted to go when they were working, but I never did.
We didn't go.
I did get to go to see you next Tuesday there.
Oh, nice. You know what we did not do? We forgot to bring medicine both nights. and immediately regretted it because you can just smell it in the air and you're like, fuck, why didn't I do that? We walked around stone cold sober around Pride. Just fucking.
Wow.
I know. It was a mistake.
Look at you. Raw dog and Pride.
Yeah, I can't believe I did that. Nonetheless, my scream has to do with another sporting event last night. As you know, Love Island Season 7 USA takes off Wednesday nights. There ain't no show to be had. And PaceCase and I are watching every episode of it in our Patreon. Last night, we're recording this on Thursday, by the way. You'll be listening to it on Friday. There was no show last night. So I find myself watching a different sport called basketball. It's game 3. Last night, it was game 3 of the NBA Finals between Oklahoma City and Indiana, Pacers and Thunder. And the game was phenomenal. It was unreal. There were, I don't know how many lead changes, probably a dozen. Like, you don't really ever see a basketball game like that is just like, oh shit, they're ahead. It was like even all the way down to like the last 3 minutes, huh?
A barn burner?
I won't say it was exactly a barn burner. Indiana kind of
that's the best
pulled away in the last
game is when
3 or
it's
4
like
minutes.
basically tied.
Yeah. But like the last 3 or 4 minutes, it kind of was like, this shit's over. But for most of the game, it was great. The superstars were doing their fucking big, crazy plays.
Slam
dunks all around. There were a bunch of different steals, turnovers. Chet Holmgren was out there doing 7-foot tall things. Like, it was great. A great game, to be sure. The entire time I'm watching it, all I am thinking is, I wish I was watching Love Island USA Season 7. It has completely supplanted my interest in other sports.
Hard agree.
I've just never been like this hooked into something, I guess, like on TV before. And I think it has to do with it airing every day. You really get the sense that like, oh, these are my friends, or I'm hanging out, whatever the case may be. You feel like you're in the villa a little bit. And to take my attention away to another sport that, again, this is the fucking championship. This is like the World Series. This is the Super Bowl. It's happening right now. And it's game 3. It was tied 1-1. That, statistically speaking, that game 3 is like super important. Whoever wins that has a very strong likelihood of winning the whole thing. And it was, again, a great game. I just didn't give a fuck. I watched the whole thing scrolling on my phone, looking at Love Island shit.
Yeah. I mean,
that's where I'm at.
The physical, like, boy games, they've never been for me. I like the psychological games.
You ain't watching WNBA?
The boy sports?
Oh, shit. You're missing out on that. She's injured right now, but she's going to be back in a week or so.
Physical sports, that's not for me. I like the psychological games.
That's what I'm talking about. Caitlin Clark, you don't think she plays a fucking psychological game? She dominates people psychologically. You got to watch her.
We're not watching them like fight like verbally. That's what I want.
Yes, you fucking are. Get into the WNBA. She gets into shit with people, fucking Twitter beefs. She goes wild. Then
I think that's how you have to get into it.
On the court.
You have to know what their characters are.
Here's what you got to know about Caitlin Clark. She is, objectively speaking, the greatest college basketball player of all time across all genders, period. Has every scoring record. She's just the greatest college basketball player that ever lived. Super high draft pick, number 1, came in. This is her last season was her first season in the WNBA. They made it to the playoffs, but didn't quite make it to the championships, but she's getting her feet under her, figuring it out. This season, her team's doing really well. She just got a pulled leg muscle. So she's been out for a couple of weeks, but she's coming back soon and she's going to crush. And people hate her because she has all this momentum coming in. They're like, how dare you say she's the greatest player? A bunch of these old school players were like, we paved the way, fuck you. But meanwhile, she's just like, she's very good. You can't deny when she's draining 3-pointers from the fucking logo like every game. Anyways, enough about Caitlin Clark. Sorry.
No, I think that's great. It's just, I know a lot of people like the physical sports.
Yeah, they're fun because there's a psychological component to them too. You can see it. Like when Caitlin Clark, she
Maybe
just
I
kind
don't
of
know enough about the characters.
research Caitlin Clark. She will kind of psychologically bully players into submission.
I know she's
has
like one of the top selling jerseys of all time.
Oh yeah, probably.
And I love to hear that the WNBA is doing well, etc. But it's just not my interest.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah, of course.
People don't get mad at people who are watching the boy sports and don't watch reality TV.
I agree. We solved it.
Next.
All right. As you know, we aren't the only ones screaming. If you're in our Patreon, you get access to our Discord where you can upload your own scream in a channel called Submit Your Screams. We listen to the best ones here. I got to share my little screen with you now somehow, PaceCase, so that you can hear this. Hang on a sec. Let me share. Okay. And share sound and share. Okay. Here's our scream. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Hey, PaceCase and Bachelor Clues. Thank y'all so much for dragging me into the pit 4 years ago. I'm an artist, a painter. I own my own art business,
wow.
Earth and Air Studios, in case anyone's wondering. And I find myself not wanting to leave the studio because I just want to keep listening to your content. Speaking of art, I just finished the episode of Hannah Brown's season where she sends home Mike Johnson in the art gallery. And I realized that I'm going to be in The Hague this summer. So excited. And I think that she basically just planned my itinerary for the trip because I'm in the pit and I need to see Amsterdam through dear, beautiful Hannah Brown's eyes. Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
Maui?
This is so sweet.
I
about
agree.
not leaving the studio to listen to us. I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah, thank you for listening. I'm happy to have, be some part of your artistic process, that you're listening to us while you're making your beautiful art. Congratulations on having an art business. Not an easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations on taking a trip that is going to be designed by the Bachelor franchise. Look, I haven't exactly planned trips around seeing Bachelor shit, but I definitely have been in places where I'm like, the one that always comes to mind for me is the Moulin Rouge in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
When I am standing outside of it and it's like, it has so much history and it's this iconic place in one of the biggest cities in the world, et cetera, et cetera. And all I'm thinking is Ari Lyondike and Becca Martinez dancing their solo dance on the stage. And they're, that's literally the only thing I associate with it. There was a fucking whole ass movie, a Baz Luhrmann movie with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor called The Moulin Rouge. That never enters my mind.
I mean, how could it? Your mind is The Bachelor.
At this point, yeah.
I look, we hadn't rewatched Hannah Brown's season when I went to Amsterdam. I'm kicking myself that I didn't go to this glass elevator.
Yeah.
Kicking myself, even though I did go and see the bench where Gabby Whitney dumped what's his face, the package deal guy.
Oh, Nate Mitchell.
Yes. Yes.
Nate Mitchell. There was a date. I forget what season this was. It was kind of recent where on Bachelor, they had a date in the train station here in Union Station in Los Angeles. And it was beautiful. It's like a beautiful old building. And it brought back memories to me personally. I used to date somebody who lived like one city over, and she'd always take the train in and I'd go pick her up. And it was right there. They had the date in that thing. And it's just like, I'm always reminded, especially in LA, because there's a lot of locations here that they use for the show. I'm just always reminded of things in my own life that like have overlapped with those locations or those, whatever they're doing. I love that about reality TV.
Me too.
Anyways, thank you so much for
Love
your
LA.
scream. Once again, if you want to submit a scream, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/gamerroses, get on that Discord, fire off a 1 minute or shorter, hopefully video clip, but also audio works if you like.
It doesn't have to be video.
I love the video ones though. They're just so much better.
Yeah.
You get to see the person.
Sometimes anonymity creates the most honesty.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Just put a dark shadow over your face.
Yeah, wear a mask. Wear a unicorn mask.
A mask.
Like JoJo Fletcher. Anyways, if you want to submit a scream to us, just go to our Patreon, get on our Discord, fire off that scream. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on This Week in Bachelor Nation. We will be back on tonight. Well, yeah, tonight. We're recording this Thursday, so there will be a Casa Gore tonight. You will be listening to this Friday, probably. There will be one Friday night.
Uh-huh.
There will be nothing Saturday. There will be one Sunday night. We will have
Casa Gores every day but hump day and Saturday.
Yeah. And we'll have a Digging Deeper on Monday.
Yes.
And a Casa Gore. And then a Casa Gore on Tuesday. Yes. And then a recap on Wednesday. And yeah, live show on Monday. There's a lot of shit popping off.
It's so weird how we have so many screams.
I know. It's like we're just living in it. We're just breathing it at this point. I love it, though.
Great. Me too.
It's a, I know a lot of people compare Love Island to heroin or crack. I think it's better than those things. I haven't done those
tried
things, but
either one.
I haven't either.
But I'll never forget the scene in Euphoria when Zendaya is depressed and she watches Love Island for like 18 hours. And I was like, wait, does that mean I'm depressed?
You never know. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Anyway,
we'll be back very
join
soon
our Patreon,
with all the things we mentioned.
patreon.com/Game of Roses. Join us. Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us. And then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.